In this video, will you lose muscle by taking a break or going on vacation for 1 to 4 weeks? Is muscle memory a real thing, and how fast do you rebuild the muscle that you lost? And a free 3-day program to do when you're on vacation or just don't have gym access like I don't right now. Equipment is not necessary to complete this workout program, but optimally you'd want 1 to 2 weights and or resistance bands, and then of course a door frame pull-up bar. All those things are very cheap, although you do not need them. I will give you alternatives for everything. If I'm using a weight, I'll give you a body weight alternative. Okay, so before we hop into the program, I wanna go over muscle memory and muscle loss so I can kill your anxiety about not having gym access for 1 to 4 weeks. So I pride myself on always giving science and evidence-backed information so you can get the best results possible. If you don't use it, you lose it. People love to create drama in the fitness industry with literally every single topic, but there is some truth to this statement. But of course, like I just mentioned, I'm gonna give you the evidence and science-backed side of this so you can use this. So firstly, we got muscle memory. Now we know for a fact, let's say if you take X months off training, 6 months off training and do nothing but watch Netflix, you're going to lose some muscle and strength. But if you were training before that, you pick back training up after that 6 months of binging Netflix, for 1 to 2 months, you're gonna regain all of that strength and all of that muscle mass. Now the 6 months and the 1 to 2 months I just said are complete estimates, guesstimates, right? That's not science backed, but the time frame is, it's gonna be a fraction. It is a fact that you rebuild muscle faster than it previously took to build in the first place, right? Now, muscle loss. Check out this graph that I got from Mass, I'll put on the screen right now, where they tested 7 individuals over the course of almost 6 months. In that first 7 weeks, they were training, progressively overloading, trying to build muscle. Over the next 7 weeks, they did nothing, they didn't do shit, they watched Netflix all day. And then the 7 weeks after that, they went back to training, back to progressively overloading and trying to build muscle. So what happened and what did they find? They found during that first 7 weeks, they built muscle. During the 7 weeks where they binged Netflix and didn't do shit all day, they lost about half of that muscle. After that 7 weeks of losing half the muscle they built, binging Netflix all day, after that 7 months, they went back to training, and guess what happened? They rebuilt all the muscle they built during the first 7 weeks, plus more. Now this is amazing news for both you and I, especially since it's unlikely that you're gonna do nothing for 7 weeks unless you're injured. And especially if you save this video, you'll have something to do even if you don't have gym access. All jokes aside, even though I'm not joking, save this video. Doing something is always gonna be better than doing nothing. We're gonna be hitting all major muscle groups 3 times per week. This program's only 4 exercises, so it's gonna be nice and short, but still effective, of course. Like I said, this is gonna be 4 exercises and you're gonna be doing this 3 days per week, ideally on Monday, Wednesday, and Friday. Exercise number 1 is gonna be push-ups. You're gonna be doing 3 sets of 10 to 15 reps with 2 to 3 minutes of rest in between the sets. Now we're gonna go over how to make this more easy or more difficult if regular push-ups are too easy or too difficult. But first, I just wanna go over, you want 2 to 3 second negatives, right? That means on the way down, the bottom portion of the rep, you wanna be counting out louder in your head, 1 Mississippi, 2 Mississippi, 3 Mississippi. Now, it doesn't have to be 3 full seconds. It could be 1.5, 2 seconds. So you wanna think about controlling that negative portion. No matter what push-up variation we're doing, ensure that your hands are about directly under your shoulders, right? You don't want your hands too far out or too close, but you want them about directly under, right? Depending on the person, it could be a little bit outer, a little bit inner. It's gonna be okay. And then also, please ensure you're not flaring your elbows completely out to the side like this. You want them either completely tucked in or 45-degree angle. If regular push-ups are too easy, you're gonna be doing decline push-ups like you're seeing right now on the screen. And make sure when you're doing this, you're not letting your lower back or your back at all, your waist sag, right? Your lumbar spine extension. You're not letting that happen by bracing your core throughout the movement. If regular push-ups are too difficult, you're gonna be doing incline push-ups. Now you can see here in the video where I'm doing it, it's just a slight incline. However, if the wall is too easy and the one you're seeing on the screen right now is too hard, finding a couch and doing it on a couch armrest usually provides a good incline for most people that find themselves in this category where they're doing incline push-ups. Also, please remember, strength is relative to where you're at right now in your fitness journey, and one of these options is not better than the other. As long as you're challenging yourself and you're pushing yourself hard, that variation is going to be the correct one for you. So if incline push-ups are very challenging for you, crush those. You will get better and you will get stronger. Now, like I said, I know you might have 0 equipment. So for exercise number 2, I have 3 options for you, so you have no excuses. For all 3, you're gonna be doing 3 sets, 10 to 15 reps with 2 to 3 minutes of rest in between each set. You're gonna be choosing one of these 3 options for your second exercise in this program. Option 1 is gonna be pull-ups or chin-ups. It doesn't matter really which one you choose because they're both gonna be working your entire back. But if you wanna bias more lats and biceps, do chin-ups. I'm gonna be using pull-up for this example. So you're gonna grab the bar just outside shoulder width and you're gonna pull your chest to the bar and think about showing your chest to the sky and touching your elbows together behind your back. Obviously, you won't actually be able to do this, but that's the cues I want you to be thinking about in this exercise. Option 2 is gonna be weighted rows. So if you do not have a kettlebell like I'm using in this video, you don't have a dumbbell, you could take a backpack or a small bag and fill it with water bottles or books or the combination of both, or just any heavy object you have around the house. Now you wanna focus on bringing your elbow to your hip, but in an arching motion, right? So you're not just going like this, you're going like this, right? This wouldn't even be bringing your elbow to your hip, like that. Now, if you're like me and your object that you're rowing, whether it be a weight or a backpack filled with heavy stuff, isn't heavy enough where you're getting close to failure in that 10 to 15 rep range, you might have to exceed that. You might even have to go all the way up to 30 reps, and that's okay. This is a temporary workout program, and going up to 30 reps is still going to be effective. In the long haul, you're not gonna always wanna be doing that because it's gonna put a strain on your cardiovascular system, and that might be the limiting factor, whereas you want your muscles to be the limiting factor. Option number 3 is gonna be banded rows. Now, I love banded rows. You could either bias your upper back or your lats in this exercise, even though you're still gonna be working your entire back, but you can bias each depending on what you see in this video, right? If you wanna bias your upper back, you're gonna be pulling with a 45-degree angle. Your elbows are at a 45-degree angle away from your torso, right? So about here. And you're gonna be trying to do the same thing with the pull-ups. Pull your upper arms and try to touch your elbows behind your back, right? Like this. But if you're trying to bias your lats, you wanna come down here like we were doing with the rows and bring your elbow to your hips in an arching motion. So exercise number 3 is single leg 1.5 or pulse split squats. You're gonna be doing 2 sets of 8 to 12 reps, and the most important part, resting 2 to 3 minutes between each leg, not each set. So after you finish one leg, you rest 2 to 3 minutes and then do the next leg. Now, I'm not gonna lie to you, these are brutal. And you wanna be holding the weight, as you'll see in this video, in the same side you're working, right? So if I'm working my right leg and my left leg is back elevated behind me, my right arm is gonna be holding the weight. This is if you have only one weight like I do here. And if your left leg is working and your right leg is elevated behind you, your left arm is holding the weight. Bending slightly forward, squat down until your back knee grazes the ground, and then you'll come back up, but halfway, only halfway. Remember, these are 1.5 pulse split squats. Then you'll go back down fully, then come back up fully. And that's only 1 rep. Now, if you haven't been training for too long, you won't even need a weight. This is gonna be brutal. Have fun, and I'm sorry. Exercise number 4, and the last exercise is going to be really 2 sets, but we're doing something called a drop set. So you're gonna be doing weighted walking lunges to form failure, and then drop setting, so dropping whatever weight you're using. You're gonna drop it and do body weight walking lunges to failure. So I just said form failure. What does that mean, right? That means you can't take another step without completely wobbling or using a lot of momentum to carry you there. As you'll see in this video, me hitting form failure right here, and then I drop the weight and continue to go to failure with body weight. Now, a huge tip for walking lunges is to step outward, not step straight on, right? So every time you take a step, it's slightly outward. This is gonna help with balance and stability, which is gonna be better for muscle growth. Thank you for watching. I hope you learned something, and I hope I killed your anxiety about losing muscle while away from home. If you got value from the video and you enjoyed it or learned something in any way, please hit the like button, hit subscribe if you want more weekly content on building muscle, losing fat, and increasing your confidence. Talk to you soon.